Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. Some NBA content because you know we're in an off week in the NFL. Royal Rumble is this weekend, but a big story in the world of the NBA. De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings. It looks like there is murmurs that he might be traded. And it seems like the San Antonio Spurs are a prime contender to land the Sacramento Kings superstar, former top five pick in the NBA draft. Do I think that this really moves the needle that much? Not really, at least this year. But if the Spurs are able to get De'Aaron Fox without giving away like a Stephon Castle, which seems like they don't want to do that. Listen, they've got Chris Paul in place right now, but Chris Paul ain't going to be around forever. De'Aaron Fox, not gonna say he's a better, like in terms of legacy, like, but now he's a better player than Chris Paul. So you put De'Aaron Fox with Victor Wembanyama, and then you have Stephon Castle there, Jeremy Sochan. I don't know if he'll be involved in this deal. Um, San Antonio's got low key got a nice team. They got a nice team. They're building something. That being said, I don't know if this is going to move the needle yet. It could in a couple of years to potentially, like, we could see something out of the Spurs team. But you look around the rest of the NBA, they're building rosters more so around, and you're not seeing like these super teams. And you're seeing it with the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs were able to draft really well. They get Evan Mobley in the draft. They got Darius Garland in the draft. They were able to make a trade for Jared Allen, like almost a throwaway piece in that James Harden deal to Brooklyn. And then they make the big splash move to get Donovan Mitchell, and they're able to convince him to stick around in Cleveland. Listen, San Antonio hasn't been near the top of the NBA in a long time. But I got to tell you, man, the idea of low-key, just like everybody's been talking about Jimmy Butler and like a lot of these murmurs about that. But then this came across my timeline, and I was like, holy shit. This would be great for San Antonio. They would absolutely be a playoff team this year. I don't think they're going to win a championship with De'Aaron Fox like right away. But Victor Wembanyama's coming. He's already been like, on the precipice. Like he's already one of the biggest freak athletes and one of the best players in the NBA. It's only a matter of time because, like I said, Stephon Castle is just a talented young man. Went to UConn, and he's a raw player, but still a great pick there. Like they've got dudes, man. This is a good team. And I frankly, I don't know how much longer Craig Popovich is going to be around to see it because he's been doing this for a long time. But it's going to be interesting to see because there's been a lot of speculation as to, and people were wondering, oh, why did De'Aaron Fox not want to go to like the Lakers or go to one of these other teams? Because San Antonio's got Wemby. That's the reality of it. They got Wemby, and they've got pieces to trade. You might have multiple other teams involved in this, but I am really fascinated to see what happens here because it's like I said, the clock is ticking for the rest of the NBA. Get your shit in because Victor Wembanyama is going to be near the top of the NBA for a long time. That's why I'm like, Cavs, go try and get the chip this year. You've got a talented roster. It's still really young, but go get it now because San Antonio is going to be there for a while. And if they get this deal done, that is frightening for the rest of the NBA because I've always been a fan of De'Aaron Fox when he was at Kentucky. When he got drafted, he got the Sacramento Kings team to the playoffs. I also hate this for Sacramento because Sacramento's been a really nice story the last couple of years getting into contention. Then they fire their coach unceremoniously. They've actually won some games under Doug Christie this year. Domantas Sabonis, for whatever reason, still doesn't get the respect he deserves. He can't get on an all-star game to save his life. And DeMar DeRozan goes there in free agency. Now, what is he supposed to think? So a lot of layers to this whole thing. But the big part of this is if this happens and one of the big young superstars in the NBA goes and joins Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio, my friends out there, all the Down for the Count family, all Spurs fans out there in San Antonio. Spurs dominated the league for a long time with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. I'm not saying it's going to be at that level, but this is a scary proposition if something gets done here because San Antonio, they look like they were back in the doldrums. They get the number one pick, and they've completely rebooted their thing because they've got a all-world player that has completely changed the game in Wemby. So anyway, a lot more to come here. Um, so appreciate all the love and support. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.